still don't know about this, but that's a fact that if a club wants to hire you, if a concert wants to hire you, they actually hire you as per the bar sales.
Yeah.
It's like if your music is getting people go and get
Yeah.
more drinks to enjoy more
Yeah,
and get
yeah,
more
yeah.
high.
Yeah.
That's when they think, okay,
Yeah.
isko main wapas leke. So I like that part about DJing, that you get to interact with so many people standing in front of you, and you feel so rewarded at the end of the night.
Sure. So hi guys, we are back with another segment where she's going to share a lot of her challenges and how she proudly overcame on it with different therapies, a mix of things. So yeah, we can't wait to hear from you. Like I'm sure, like we've heard all the feathers and the good part of your life, but yeah, I'm
Feathers
sure
and medals.
feathers and medals and badges. Yeah, so let's talk.
Thorns.
Yeah, time for thorns.
Yeah, so like I'll tell you my professional hurdles to start with. Like because my family doesn't belong to the fashion industry. I am the first one who's like got into it. So it was challenging to even convince my family that I want to do something like this. I'm getting opportunities. I want to pick that up. It was very difficult.
I'm sure.
Because they were always pushing me towards the academics. They were not really pushing me towards glam or fashion, and of course because of Indian families they have a typical thought about अगर इसने modeling किया तो उसकी शादी नहीं होगी, and also
The big
like,
bad world of
yeah,
media.
big bad world of media, बहुत casting couch होता होगा, उधर yoga लोग बुरे होते हैं, because that's what we see on television.
Yeah, of course.
That is somewhere true and not completely true.
I think it depends on how you navigate it.
How you navigate, and also because fashion industry is more, it's like it is male dominant again, but there are only women working in the fashion industry mostly. Like in India at least you have less male models. There's so many female models. Yeah. So that this was the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge that I have faced when I entered modeling is first initial few assignments I got it easily because I was a fresh face. But then later on when I got into the real big game,
Like took it professionally.
yeah, when I got into the real big game of leveling up and surviving through the industry, like because there are a lot of models who come, do 2-3 assignments and they're gone, boom, vanished. They can't survive, they can't really sustain. But when the game of sustaining started, that was a real challenge, especially because of the skin color. We all are not, I am not, but maximum Indian society is fond of white skin, fair skin.
Deprived of it, probably.
And the definition of beauty is very different. Like we like that typical Indian conventional beauty when it comes to beauty. I don't fit into that category. I don't really look very conventionally beautiful. I can really see that.
Yeah, but then I think I love that. I mean, personally, I think I love this Indian skin tone.
Yeah, like but though it's the best skin tone all over the world, like people crave, people pay money to get that.
They actually come and tan themselves,
and they like get these UV treatments, Solaris and all to get tan. But in India, even the biggest actresses have faced this stigma of being brown, dark.
In fact, they've been bleached and I don't know what not.
People have taken so many treatments, glutathione and all to become fair. Even the biggest actors had to go through it. So I was like just a beginner and I had to face it. Then I used to go to auditions, to castings, and I used to get comments like, "अरे तूने इसको क्यों भेजा? ये काली है." हम लोग वही लड़की चाहिए. Like they are very cutthroat and brutal.
Very blunt.
Like they're very blunt, and initially when this thing used to happen, and also again I'm very slim and slender, which is not a typical Indian body type. They prefer fuller women. They prefer women with fuller face, voluptuous. And I used to be like thin. So, it was very challenging for me to accept that rejection every time I go for a commercial casting.
I know.
Fashion, I used to get easily selected, but again,
because you fit that.
yeah, but again, at times I used to get rejected stating that she doesn't look Indian for this
Yeah.
Indian outfit, or she is not that required fuller size to fit into an outfit.
At that time it was. Things have changed completely now.
Now it's more of a petite fashion,
Yeah.
like people like petite models, but back then they wanted broader girls with like really good
Yeah.
shoulders, good hip
Yeah,
size.
and also I think brown skin is in vogue today. I mean, even India, a lot of designers are kind of going for Indian skin tone. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's-
So that was one biggest challenge of feeling rejected everywhere just because of
Yeah.
how I look. And I think it really mentally destroys you
yeah, of
when
course.
someone rejects you for how you are. Because that's what you have. You don't have anything else apart from this whole thing.
Absolutely.
And I was constantly rejected initially when I started the big game.
That's
She
so
doesn't fit the way,
disheartening.
she's too dark. And I've even heard choreographers saying कि इतने अच्छे outfit काली लड़कियों को नहीं देने के, like she's too dark for such a good
Terrible.
outfit. She'll steal the charm away of the outfit, give it to a fairer girl.
Oh God.
Brown girls are darker knees, don't give her short clothes. Like
That's
such
terrible.
comments used to
Yeah.
come on us, and like we are humans, at times we are 100% fit, at times we're not.
Of course.
So being in modeling industry, it used to be very cutthroat where people would say इसका तो पेट बाहर निकला है,
Constant
इसकी
pressure.
पे इतना chubbiness है. So the whole pressure about how I look and the rejection based on how my skin color is. I am not pretty like the other Indian girls. I was called I'm not pretty. And this was being reminded to me constantly whenever I would go for casting. Because the casting messages used to come like required high class fair girl, uptown fair girl.
Oh God.
This is what
fair and lovely tag.
Require a very classy girl who's fair. I mean, like if you're not fair, you're not classy, you're poor.
How cliche is that?
So it was very disturbing because I was just growing. I was like 18 something and I was just newly introduced to the bad world.
Yeah.
And
It's too young to take.
Too young to face those kind of rejections. And then I had friends back then who used to actually say that, why you've been trying modeling, you don't have that aesthetic look to become a model.
Oh God, even the friends.
Yeah,
have
my
that.
best friend used to say that you're ugly, you're not fit to become
What?
a model. And I
That's
took
so
it
not
so
true,
personally.
though.
I took
Yeah.
it so personally.
It's traumatic.
But I started believing in it.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody around you is saying that.
I started believing in it, and even my parents used to say कि यार models तो सभी इतनी pretty लड़कियाँ हैं, गोरी लड़कियाँ हैं, तुम कहाँ सांवली बीच में घुस रही हो, try कर रही हो, I used to have that kind of conversation with my family also, and somewhere there was this one time in my life where I lost the confidence in myself. I stopped believing in myself.
It's very obvious.
I used to get scared to even buy an outfit which is little revealing or skimpy because I used to think, oh, I'm brown, People would not like to see a brown skin.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then I started wearing like full sleeves, full
Oh.
clothes, fuller, which is not bad also, but then that I was doing it out of a feeling of rejection,
Conscious.
of
You became too
consciousness.
conscious, yeah.
And I think that took me quite some time to understand that this rejection is not a personal rejection. It's a rejection for a role to play in an ad, a role to play in a campaign.
Yeah.
They're not rejecting me. They're
Yeah.
rejecting a character which doesn't fit them.
Yeah.
So-
it's all about the mindset.
So it's all about perceiving the rejection beautifully. And I think a lot of models, if you see today, a lot of actors and models commit suicide at a very young age. And
That's a
majorly it's
sad
because of
part.
rejection.
Yeah.
Because
It can crash you, right?
people who are highly ambitious are the most unhappy people if they don't work hard.
Yeah.
If they don't get their
Yeah.
fruitful rewards.
The extremist.
Yeah. So and most of the artists are extremists. They are very intense people and they do not take rejections well. So I also had a time where I actually went through a emotional turmoil. I was depressed because I was not getting work in between. Suddenly it was like a flat zone
Which
in my
year was
career.
this, if you remember?
I don't exactly remember the year, but this was definitely 2016, I believe. where I actually, so fashion industry has a trend
Okay.
in features and looks. So right now the trend is very oriental looks.
Is it?
So if you see most of the campaigns, you will see very oriental looking people.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the SMEs are coming on the cover page and all because they have very oriental features.
Okay.
There are a lot of girls who are very petite and petite face,
Yeah.
very delicate looking. So
The
they
European
prefer
figure,
that.
size 0.
Yeah. And some time ago, it was an era of dark, strong looking women where I got a lot of work. And
That was before 16.
yeah, so time keeps changing in fashion according to
Very
their
volatile.
requirements. They keep changing, and according to that, people get jobs in modeling.
Got it.
To be honest.
Yeah.
So it took me really long and took me a lot of conversations with people, like people who are already teaching acting, people who are grooming models, people who are into casting agency. I had to like literally go out and talk and ask them why am I getting rejected?
Yeah.
Why there is like a 6 months flat zone where I'm rejected like plethora times. And,
Like you need counseling.
yeah.
Literally.
So I was like, I'm failing to understand how do I improve myself to get jobs again. Like I don't
Yeah.
understand what's going wrong.
Yeah.
And also because it affects us more because there is no politeness in this industry.
Oh yeah.
There is no second chance in this industry. You make couple of mistakes, people throw you out.
Yeah,
You disappear
yeah.
for some time, people forget you.
Yeah.
And if you don't fit into the
Ruthless.
character bill,
Yeah.
you're gone.
Absolutely.
And you always keep wondering that what wrong did I
Ah.
do now suddenly that suddenly I don't have any work.
And nobody gives you the right answer.
Yeah, nobody gives you any right answer. People are least bothered because it's a fast track industry. Everyone is like so busy with their
Yeah.
work, they don't have time
Yeah.
enough to talk to people.
Yeah.
But I actually took out time, I sat down to myself, I spoke to people who are prominent in the industry. I asked them like, why is this happening? And couple of people, they wouldn't like to be named, so I'm not taking their name. They told me very clearly it's not you or your beauty or your looks that they're rejecting, it's the character that they're rejecting. When you go to a casting, you don't go to them as a human, you go to them as a character.
Yeah. That's
And
so true. Yeah.
They're rejecting a character, they're rejecting a personality which does not fit their
Mindset.
their assumption or their picture of
Yeah.
that particular
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
So you don't really have to take it so harsh on yourself and feel that you're not good looking and all.
One of the best advice.
Yeah, and there was this one choreographer, a female choreographer who used to be a model before. But she's one of the best choreographers in the industry. And she's known for throwing insults on people. I
Bring up the name,
Yeah,
babe.
I'll give you the name soon. So,
The time is now.
So, she kind of gave me a mental trauma and I felt that I am not a model material. Because anytime I used to be in her show as her model, she used to just insult me.
Oh my god.
So she basically had issues with brown skin. She basically had
Oh God.
issues with women who are thin but still are well endowed.
Oh god.
She preferred a very broad structure athletic for her kind of shows. So I think her approach towards other girls was really bad. Like it's okay if someone doesn't fit your show, but don't insult them like that.
Yeah.
Like insulting someone on my
That's
show.
inhuman, right? I mean,
And I think all models go through this. We get public insults.
oh yeah.
Nobody
That's-
comes to us to a corner and say, okay, darling, you are out of shape for this show, you're out of shape for this outfit, you're too thin for this outfit, or you're too brown for this color. Nobody says that personally.
Because you're treated as a product.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, with no
Exactly.
emotion.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So these insults keep coming in public, and these are the people you meet every day because you are in the same chain. Every show we meet the same
Yeah, it's a
models.
small community. Right?
It's the same season models who work in almost all shows, all shoots. So it gets very difficult to even face people because even models being from the same industry would not understand this difficulty a
Yeah.
person is facing.
Yeah.
They will still go around and bitch about it.
Yeah.
So this industry does not have any unity.
Yeah. It's
Everyone
like-
is just pulling each other down.
I know, it's too competitive.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
too
it's
competitive
madness.
because if you're not in the game, you will be
out.
like
Yeah, in no time.
So there are no friends in this industry. Again, like I kind of trusted a lot of people thinking they're my friends and all, and then I had really tough times because of that.
They kind of backstabbed you.
Yeah, so modeling gave me a lot of emotional trauma initially, and the biggest challenge was how I look, and it's the toughest thing on a woman, I think.
Yeah,
Because
of course.
since we hit puberty. All we hear is about take care of your beauty. बाहर जाके मत खेलो. Skin खराब हो जाएगी.
Tan
होगा, बाल खराब हो जाएंगे. This is what we are fed since childhood, being girls. And then when you grow up, you think that you look good, but someone is constantly telling you you don't look good enough. You're not even pretty. You're not this. You're not that.
Your ego.
You don't look like your nationality. Nationality crisis. Directly.
You're a nomad.
Yeah, it's like you don't understand where you exactly stand. Yeah. So that's one challenge I think a lot of people face. A lot of people face, and then on top of that, because I was a model, I switched to law simultaneously. I was doing both. So when I used to work in law firms,
oh my god,
just because I'm a model, there was a pre-notion I am down.
Oh yeah, the blonde,
the bloke and the blonde theory. So it's like, oh, she's model, she's just, she just bothers her. She's only bothered about how she looks, what clothes she wants to wear and all. Fluke mein pass ho gayi hogi.
Oh god.
Fluke mein law degree mil gayi.
So relatable.
And like, even the clients who used to come to our office, like the moment they used to see me on the opposite chair, they used to ask, ye lawyer hai?
Really?
And every time it used to irritate me.
Yeah.
But I still had to like keep
it's very
calm.
disrespect.
Yeah, I still had to keep like really calm. It's okay, It's a world, judgmental world, and people are going to judge. And
I mean, lawyers can look glamorous. What's wrong with it, right?
I mean, like, they will totally accept it in suits. But when it happens in front of their chair,
reality in India, right?
So when it happens in front of their chair, the opposite chair, they can't take it. They're like, "This is a lawyer."
Probably if you would have been in the US or UK, it would be like. I mean,
honestly, there are a lot of good-looking lawyers in our country. There are many, and they all face
just
a
don't
similar challenge.
up. Yeah.
They all face a similar challenge. People, because it's a male-dominating industry, maximum people, maximum lawyers in India are male.
Yeah.
And of course, men in our country somewhere have a perception about women that they can't drive.
Yeah.
They're not intelligent. They are handicapped on navigation. They are very bad at sport. They lack stamina. They lack IQ. A lot of pre-notions that we've been hearing, and there are a lot of jokes and memes that are going on since forever. So I faced all of that. Like whenever I used to meet my seniors, वो लोग मुझे मजाक में पूछते भी थे कभी-कभी, आता है कुछ? कुछ समझ में आता है, कुछ आता भी है कि ऐसे ही आ गया? So ये बहुत होता है, and then again another perception people have is when you are a model, when you're exposed to a lot of men.
Oh.
That means you're very.
That's how you're getting clients.
Yeah, you're very advanced and you are, very open-minded. You are very gullible. That's what people think about
free-spirited.
Yeah. That they're ready to do anything. They anyway get
so
work
basically
with
you were having a boomerang from both the sides, right?
Yeah.
Like this was feeding the other, kind of.
Yeah. So initially when I got into law, I used to even get wrong approaches from my fellow colleagues.
I'm sure.
The opposite counterpart, of course, and it all went very bizarre for me initially, and I kind of took a back seat.
From that.
Yeah. And then I was like, I don't want to work with any firm, I'll just do my independent practice because this is getting too much every day.
Yeah.
Constantly hearing, ये तो dumb है, ये तो model है, ये लोग तो easily सो जाते हैं, ये ऐसे होते हैं, ये वैसे होते हैं. They used to come and ask us to, for your jobs, you guys really do casting couch.
Yeah.
So it's like insulting.
They're more interested in your, modeling.
So, both my professions initially, it was very difficult for people to accept that I'm doing it. As when I became a model, a lot of my friends were not ready to accept it because they were like, you're not even good looking, how are you a model? You're so brown. तेरे को किसने मॉडल बनाया? मेरे अपने फ्रेंड्स मुझे ये बोलते थे.
And the other side was about the brain.
Yeah, and then when I went to the law industry, it was like models are dumb. How did you get into law? Like, how did you clear your exam? Who gave you the bar council license? Like people just throw jokes at me.
Yeah.
I'm a very calm person. Like I give it on time.
Okay, you respond. You don't react.
Yeah, I don't react easily, and I will not really, get into stupid fights and all. I'll show things with my own caliber, with my own.
That's a great quality.
And I think all this has come because of my father, and like we all are like that at home. And
that's amazing.
so these challenges were really difficult again because I was really doing well in modeling, and I kind of got things very easily as a model. It's a very big platform in our country. It's not easy to become a model. It's a very difficult thing. It's like, every year, at least for Miss India, 100 and 500 girls come for auditions.
Of course.
And then 30 girls get selected, and on that only 3 people are the winners, and in that only 1 person gets a job.
I know.
Like a good assignment. And except for Miss India, there are many other girls who come from different parts of the country to become models.
Of course.
Becoming a model in our country is
not easy.
It's not easy. It's very
and opportunities are very thin.
Very thin. There are not too many campaigns also happening here, and it all goes maximum to the agency.
Because fashion as an industry is not really big. I mean, talking about Paris, France and all, it's like you have everywhere, you have opportunity.
They have shows every day running.
Exactly.
They have showroom showcasing and all. Like they have because it's a fashion country.
It's a fashion hub.
It's a fashion hub. So in India, it's like the opportunities are really less, and the competition is very high. The ratio is really bizarre.
So I mean, how did you bounce back? Like, you were facing this crazy trauma from both the sides. Like, what kept you going? I mean, you didn't give up. So I'm sure there must be some anchor.
Actually, to be honest, I've never had people in my life who be supportive and back me up and say, okay, no, you got it, you'll do it. I've always had really competitive people around me because I've chosen industries like that.
Challenging.
Very challenging industries.
Competitive.
Yeah, and all male dominating, and somewhere they don't like a woman winning over there.
Yeah.
They don't like it. There are only few men who will like it.
So you know your self-anchor in a way.
So I was constantly working hard on myself. Somewhere it was wrong because I was trying to prove that I am intelligent, I am a lawyer, I can do this, I can do that. I started exerting myself in that process.
To get the validation.
To get validation from people. Then I kind of thought that I'm doing the same mistake when I was a model. To get validation that I'm also good looking, I can also become a model, and I can also sustain this industry. I kind of ended up doing stupid things. Constantly going for audition, constantly calling people, following up with
that anxiety.
The reaction out of anxiety, you kind of lose your mind and you just scatter, your energy is not gathered, you're not channelizing things properly. So I started repeating the same pattern even in law, seeking validation from people. Which with time, I realized because it's kind of messed me up so much. I was not able to give enough time to law, I was not able to give enough time to modeling, and I was not happy.
You were nowhere basically.
I was nowhere, and I was unhappy to another level. I was unsatisfied. I kind of lost direction about what exactly I want.
Of course.
Then I sat with my father, we spoke, and he told me, what, if you want to start as a lawyer now, which you already did, you need to forget that you were a successful model. You were a model. You have to start your life from scratch. Do not seek a proper and prim-prom response from people. Do not seek respect from people right now. Just don't.
Completely shift your focus.
Yeah, don't do anything. Focus on your work. You do not need any validity from someone that you are a lawyer. Time will prove, your work will prove.
Wow.
You need to relax.
Advice.
Yes,
very
gave me a very good advice. You need to relax. You've achieved enough for your age.
Right.
And if you want to start in a new career, you have to start from like an ant.
From scratch.
From scratch. So stop thinking that people will give you the same celebrity treatment, the same respect in this industry. They are going to troll you. And they're going to troll you more because you have done something they probably wanted to do.
And they could really get judgmental.
Like most of the people in our country, somewhere in deep down their heart, they want to become famous. They want to come on camera. They want to be seen.
universally there as you we all,
When they don't
whether
get
you accept it or not.
Yeah, when they don't get it, then they pick on people who have it.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah.
I can
So I was facing that. It was like I was totally bullied everywhere. And the bullying was still going on. I am not saying that it's stopped. It's still going on.
Oh.
It is still going on. Like even if you open one of my Instagram pictures or videos, someone from the law industry will be commenting, "अरे दीदी कभी नोटरी भी बना लो, दीदी कभी लॉ भी पढ़ लो." You know, ये सब ऐसे लोग लॉयर होंगे तो क्रिमिनल कैसे होंगे? You know, like all these things I still get it. Like
after like 5 years almost. Now.
Yeah, and after me being like I've gone to High Court, I've gone to Supreme Court.
Wow.
I have been associated with one of the top brands of India as a lawyer. Even after all that,
moving your metal.
Yeah. Even after all that, I still
Yeah.
get these bros that कुछ नहीं आता होगा, ऐसे lawyer थोड़ी होते
I
हैं.
mean, we know how those people are. They don't have a life for themselves.
So to be honest in this, I actually, and also because I'm a first generation lawyer.
Ah.
That's the biggest challenge in this industry. I don't have anyone in my family who's a lawyer. And of course, because I don't have anyone as a lawyer, I don't have connections in the same industry.
There's no reference point.
There's no reference, there's no client coming to me. I always have to rely on some or the other firm to get me a job or something. That happened initially, but now, God's grace, I'm doing pretty well. Like people come to me up front, I get like clients up front and all.
More power to you.
Thank you. But what really helped me in this is being careless and carefree.
Okay.
I kind of trained myself to let go of what people think about me, what people talk about me, and this came with a constant practice. It was not easy, it didn't come overnight.
It's a very conscious kind of affirmation that you keep telling yourself.
Exactly, like and I think ignoring certain things is like a bliss for you in your life, and not bothering about what is happening behind your back, who's talking what about you, what people think about you.
I mean, people have done that to legends, yeah. I mean, you pick up any big name, I mean, they've not left anybody. I mean, including Mr. Bachchan or whoever. I mean, I think that's the only way you can sustain, right? You've got to ignore the dirt and, yeah.
So, during this time, because I was like so stressed and messed up, I was missing modeling somewhere. And the law people were not accepting me. So I was like, and I'm very ambitious, you know.
Yeah.
If I get into something, I like to be rewarded, I like to be recognized for my work. I like to be known about for my work.
Rewarded.
Yeah. So that was not happening, and instead I was getting a lot of insults. So in that phase, I was like reading about astrology. I met a lot of palmists. I met astrologers. Then I ended up to meet a tarot card reader because I had so much of things boiling in me, questions, a kind of sense of being lost. And not being able to find a way, not being able to understand what exactly is happening. So I met this tarot card reader. I think you must have met her also. Hansa.
No, I met her. Like she was on our podcast, not
so
for the reading.
I met her, and she's a dear friend, and
she's amazing.
She's amazing. I don't meet her that much, but she's my go-to woman.
I'm sure.
Because she has been independent ever since she's 16. Okay, that woman has done everything herself.
Oh my God, her journey is just
amazing journey, inspirational journey, awesome achievements, and she is pretty much in her head.
She is. She gives a damn about those what people.
Like she's a very strong woman, and I'm very fond of her. The way she, conducts her whole life. She's like unbothered about the society and all. And
I feel the same, when I heard her story, I'm like, I look up to this woman, because I think as women we face so many struggles and sometimes we tend to give up or suck up to it,
Yeah, and like women are mostly outcasted for any one thing that they do. They like look down easily. But it's not the same anymore. Like slowly things are changing.
but it's still a long way to go.
So I met her and she was like, she listened to my problem. And so she told me, why don't you come for a tarot card reading? Probably, you know, you'll get some answers.
Sure.
At least it might help you to talk what exactly your problem is and not an answer.
Yeah.
At least while
You
asking
will
questions,
yeah.
you will understand what's your problem.
That happens actually.
You know, because if you asking yourself, you may not find an answer. You will only get an echo.
Yeah. Like you need sometimes like a mirror to reflect your
Yeah.
own thoughts.
It's like when you're talking to yourself, you only hear echo.
Yeah.
But when you're opening up with someone, when you are talking, sharing your doubts with someone, that person's perception or perspective might help you.
Yeah.
So I was asking her a lot of questions and she was doing my reading and all. My reading was really disaster. It was really bad and like it kind of
scared you even more.
It scared me even more, but that woman told me one thing. She's like, I've given zero fucks to the society till date and I've just lived my dreams. I've done whatever it takes to achieve my dream. And if you have that strong will and strong mind of, you know, pursuing your dream.